Hello, my name is Karen Gauthier. I am a nursing faculty instructor here at UCQ. I came to Doha 3 years ago with my 4 children and my husband. And the first thing I want to say is it's probably been one of the hardest things as a family that we've transitioned into. But right alongside of that, I'd say it's one of the best things we've ever done. So I'm going to focus on bringing kids to Doha and your family time here and what that's like. And I'll also talk about professionally what it's been like working here. So our kids were aged 3 to 10 when we came. And this is a fantastic age to bring kids to Doha. Our main purpose in coming here was to experience something different and show our kids the life and the world outside of Canada. We really wanted them to see and experience something different so that they'd have a different outlook as they grew. And we have certainly achieved that. It's been one of the best things we've ever done for our children. So with that, though, the challenges of being in Doha are with kids. It's a very child-friendly place. This country and culture loves their children. The way we do things is a little bit different, which is okay. And the school situation is one of the biggest things that's different, that I think is important for you to know. We decided to go with Qatar Canadian school, now Blythe Academy. And Blythe Academy is a very reputable Canadian institution that has international schools in a bunch of different places, including in Toronto. It's experiential-based learning, and it's an excellent program. Because we're in the process of transitioning to Blythe from another system, it's been rough and patchy in areas for sure. So the negatives, I just want you to know, are that things are constantly evolving here in Doha because of the change. This culture has evolved over the last 50 years from literally Bedouin tent living to a modern society. So you can see that there's going to be challenges with that. So patience is a must, and trying to understand that nothing is going to run like it does in Canada is super important. It's nothing you can really understand until you experience it. I cannot explain it to you, I truly cannot. But when you get here, if you choose to come, which I hope you do, you'll understand instantly. And it's really hard to explain to people at home. My family does not understand these challenges, so it's hard for me to express. However, with the school, first of all, distance driving, even though it's not a long distance, it should take us about 20 minutes maximum with no traffic. It can take us up to an hour and a half sometimes to get to school or from school. That's not every day. A lot of times in normal traffic, it's about 45 minutes. So it adds that time onto your day at the beginning and the end. That's challenging for sure. There are schools that are closer, and it depends on the program you want. The reason that I like Blythe is because it's Canadian curriculum. So bringing our kids from Canadian culture, they were familiar. It's based on Alberta curriculum. The holidays are celebrated in their own way, and it was familiar, and that was really important to them. The other thing that I appreciate is the Canadian educated instructors. They're all masters or at least bachelor's prepared Canadian instructors. They're amazing human beings that love adventure as well. And they have small class sizes. I cannot say enough about the small class sizes. Right now it's 15, 16 kids maximum, and my kids have excelled academically. I can't express that enough. We had been in the Canadian French immersion system for about 5 years, and I was very frustrated, very involved with PAC and all those bits. I saw the inside workings, and it was really frustrating for me. We came here, and that what is happening in the classrooms for this age group is excellent. Blythe Academy will become even more excellent for the high school years as they develop, and that's coming. So the other challenge is the building. The Blythe Academy building is an old converted to school building. It's not really set up great. It functions, but there are challenges. That was not as important to us as what's happening in the classroom, but for some people it's a big deal. The principal is a little difficult, so I strongly recommend that you deal with Darlene Sullivan. She is the vice principal, and she's lovely and wonderful, and she gives you really good information and really honest. She's fantastic. So the driving, the building, the fact that they don't have a proper gym, so when it gets really hot, kids have to be bused to CNAQ to use their beautiful facilities. The bus ride is 5 minutes, but in Doha traffic, or a bus can sometimes take longer. That's a bit frustrating. The kids don't mind it as much as the parents seem to mind it, but the kids don't complain about it too much, honestly, my 3. It hasn't really impacted them in a negative way. And again, for us, what's happened in the classrooms has been amazing. And my relationships with the teachers has been fantastic. So that's our experience in the school in the 3 years. There's also IB programs and the British program. And for various reasons, we decided to stick with the Canadian program. And that would be the school issues. The other thing I'll say about kids before I move on to professional for me, is the activities. Activities here for kids are expensive. Swimming lessons are like 3 or 4 times the cost. Soccer, like it's really quite exorbitant. That being said, you can do everything pretty much that you can do in Canada. So we found horseback riding for our daughter. We found soccer and baseball. The baseball is amazing. The baseball program here is unbelievable and it's very affordable. So we're talking 800 reals, so for $300-400 for the whole year. And their experience with the travel outside with the bonus team was unbelievable. So although we had to change a little bit of what we did, we found things that were excellent replacements for that. And our younger son, Luke, they have like music classes and all those things can be found. Again, some of them you have to drive for and the cost is up there, but we were able to find activities for the kids. That being said, we actually chose to de-activity a little bit, coming from Canada and the hustle and bustle of constant activities, it feels like, and trying everything. Because of the restrictions here and simply because in our first year, honestly, the overwhelming transition of coming here as a family was pretty significant for us. So we just descaled and we just kept it really simple. And we spent a lot of time at home together, adjusting together. And it was amazing. Our time together as a family here in Doha has been one of the best things that we've done for our family. And we've had extended afternoons and evenings together that we wouldn't have had back in Canada. And I'm really grateful for that time as the kids grow older. So it wasn't what we expected, but it was better than we expected, even though we lost a year of activities. The first year we really did no activities outside the home. We were just coping with getting to work, finding the groceries we need, and getting to school. And that's the truth. It was hard. It was a grind. But in that meantime, we really bonded, and we were always close-knit, but just having all those hours together, I can't describe that as well. Additionally, my husband was not able to work here in Doha as he was under my visa, and that's a complication that can happen. And it's not what we expected, many things we didn't expect. But again, the bonus has been that he's been stay-at-home dad, and although that was an extremely hard transition for him, it's been, again, something he will cherish that time forever in his life with the kids. So that's a brief overview of my family's experience. The kids transited better to Doha than the adults did. I can tell you that. We were on the emotional roller coaster of like feeling quite depressed at times, to be honest with you, and the kids did a lot better. They were more even, I would say, than the kids were, or than the adults were. And the other thing about kids is I do know it can be a little bit more tricky for the teenagers. So if you're bringing teenagers here, sort of 13 and above to start, it can be a little bit more tricky. So just finding them the right activities and making sure that the school is a good fit for them would be super important. But it's here. You just have to know that ahead, that for the teenagers coming, I've noticed that it can be a little bit harder for them. But again, the benefits far outweigh the hard parts.